Anyway, what do you got to say? I know you do your little intros.
But this is the point of the show where we let down our journalistic guard. Where I tell you what I think. I think that there's only one thing worse than having to watch human beings jump out of 100-story windows in 2s and 3s holding hands. And that's having to watch it and then having your government lie to you about who did it and why.
And so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with history repeating and rhyming yet again. This is an amazing moment. I want to challenge Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to come here and to talk about what happened to his father and to his uncle. He's already talking about it, but the power of him coming here. Look right over here. The shots didn't come from the school book depository. They came from right there on the grassy knoll. We have the photos, we have the witnesses, the flashes of smoke, the men with guns, the railroad tracks. We have the confessions of the men, E. Howard Hunt, that did the shooting, did the killing. And that same deep state that killed our president has had an ongoing coup since 1963 in full control of this country. They stole the 2020 election. They stole the 2022 election. They're planning to steal the next election. But InfoWars is fighting back, and humanity's fighting back, and the world is waking up. What a historic time to be alive.
By a, I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
And Kanye refuses to get his new white 350s dirty in the dirt. So,
Ain't gonna happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Going Postal episode 3. We got a special one for you today. It's kind of a weird one because we researched two different topics. It's going to be a little 9/11, it's a little JFK, but all fucking retardedly awesome.
All I got for you is 9/11. I know absolutely nothing about JFK, and I'm ready to learn about it. I know Sam knows what the fuck he's talking about when it comes to JFK, and I know he's been researching for hours. I already know.
Okay, well, I've been balls deep, okay, people? I've been sack fuck deep in JFK conspiracies. I've been on BitChute. I've seen I've seen the fucking wasteland that is that side of the internet. The amount of fucking Zionism conspiracy theories that you can find on there is mind-blowing.
I already know Sam's been on the JFK longer than just this week. He's been talking to me about this since before anybody's been talking about it. Before anyone I know has been talking about it, Sam's been on it. So I know he's fucking locked and loaded, ready to go.
Dude, I've been talking about this shit since fucking high school. I didn't think it made sense in high school, and then now I got fucking people looking at me. Whenever I say the magic bullet doesn't make sense, imagine the leading theory having magic in the name. I mean, come the fuck on, people. Like, are you serious?
The little bit of research I've done into JFK, I just looked at it and was like, oh my god, the CIA killed him or somebody killed him, but obviously what they're telling us ain't right, and I just haven't looked into it any farther. I feel like anybody looking into it just knows something ain't adding up as soon as they look into it just a little bit.
Dude, it could have been the 33-degree Freemasons. Who the fuck knows? But all I know is some fishy shit happened on that day.
I know whenever you're standing in the building where Lee Harvey Oswald is and you look out the window and you look at where he's supposedly been shot at, you're just like, that angle does not line up at all. That angle does not make any fucking sense for a lone gunman. I know that there was not just a lone gunman that day.
It hurts that if you go to that building today and stand in the window, like in the fucking museum area kind of, you can literally see the easier shot that he should have taken. You can see how, like, in your own eyes. Shit was fucking up there for a second, but we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fucking little technical difficulties. But anyway, to this day, you can see that the fucking theory's bullshit. He would never wait. I mean, there was a triangulation fire there, boys. Triangulation. My bad. Motherfuckers.
And the angles he was driving down and how he was just driving down so slow, like they were just teeing him up, just ready to get fucking domed by somebody. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, really.
Dude, he was teed up. It was a fucking turkey shoot.
It was a fucking golf shot. They fucking hit him with a driver right on the fucking dome.
A little flop shot onto the dance floor.
But I've been researching a lot about Muhammad Atta and 9/11, the hijacker that hit into the Twin Towers first, and how
I would have never guessed that was a hijacker.
So many hijackers, 14 out of the 19 hijackers all came out of this one airport in Venice, Florida. And Venice, Florida, if you look into it, at the time, they had the second oldest age out of any city in the entire United States. It's like a retirement community in Florida, and 14 out of the 19 hijackers went to this airport and trained there and trained how to fly.
Dude, the people in Venice, Florida hadn't seen somebody with a darker complexion than fucking alabaster since before that day. And then they had a bunch of fucking Arabs running around. It just makes no sense.
The dude that was running this flight school, his name was Rudy Decker, and he was this Dutch dude with just a terrible Dutch accent. And whenever he was being interviewed after 9/11, he like tried to claim American. He's like, Americans like us, even though his Dutch accent is just so strong. But all these hijackers are coming out of there, and it seems to me that the CIA was funneling terrorists through him trying to learn how to fly. There was also another Dutch flight school instructor that happened to buy another flight school at the same year in 2000, same as Rudy Decker, right before 9/11, a year before 9/11. These two Dutch people buy these two different flight schools. It just doesn't add up. It's just such a weird coincidence.
I mean, fucking Rudy Decker. It doesn't even matter where they went to flight school or anything, because everybody knew that they couldn't fly. Everybody that they flew with, all their flight instructors said they couldn't fucking fly a Cessna, people. They couldn't fly the smallest airplane. And they hop in a 747 and hit these fucking maneuvers. I mean, we've talked about the Pentagon maneuver. We don't need to go there again. People, it's horse shit.
The people in Venice actually saw these dudes weeks before, and saw them at strip clubs getting lap dances. These supposedly Islamic, they're doing it for Islam because they just can't stand our American ways. These dudes are fucking getting hammered at bars. They're drinking straight fucking vodka shots, getting lap dances and going to strip clubs. And these dudes are supposedly super Islamic and death to America because of our ways.
Hey man, they hate our freedom. That's why they did it. They hate our freedom. I mean, this is honestly two good topics to bounce back and forth between, because I mean it's all CIA, it's all Freemason, it's all horse shit, it's all blood drinking, but we're not gonna fucking talk about that.
And it involves our own government that you would never expect to lie to you. Actually, I mean, nowadays everyone expects their government to lie to them. But back whenever these things were going on during JFK and during 9/11, they didn't want to suspect that their own government could do these types of things. But just with the hours and hours of research that everyone's done on the topics, it's just clear that there was government collusion in it.
I mean, like, one of the reasons JFK was killed because he fucking didn't sign on to Operation Northwoods. He was freeing silver to the average man, making it a commodity, making sure the Federal Reserve couldn't take fucking all of it. He did that before he died. Just think about that. I don't know if you guys know Operation Northwoods. That was attacking American hospitals, planes, cities, trying to start a war with Cuba. People, they were trying to start a nuclear war.
Our government trying to start a war? Who could have saw that coming?
I mean, it's just the fucking stupidest shit you can possibly imagine, and somebody gets killed for it.
They're fiending. They're fiending for wars like fucking crackheads. They're itching for it. And if there's not one going on, they're doing everything in their power to make one happen.
I mean, what happened to JFK, he didn't deserve. Everybody knows that. He was a decent president. He might have been not as fucking great as everybody says. He might have been a little overrated, but obviously because he was fucking murdered in front of everybody's eyes. I mean, people. Who was B.G. Lansdale? He retired from the Air Force 3 months earlier. People identified him in pictures being escorted away by the police. Him and 2 other guys just going to the sheriff's station, poof, disappeared. They never, I don't know if you know, but in the fucking rail yard behind Daly Plaza, 3 dudes were found in a boxcar. And they said they were like vagrants.
That's crazy.
Fucking homeless people. They get escorted away by the police. One of them gets identified as Air Force. He was an Air Force fucking guy 3 months earlier. He was at the scene being escorted away by the police. He's never seen again. Nobody ever hears fucking poof off the face of the fucking earth.
We're not just going to assume government collusion all the time, but whenever the facts are there, we can't deny them. We're just looking at it unbiasedly, and the truth is just so loud, and it's hard to deny it.
I mean, people, if there was one shooter, if it was fucking what they say, how was James Tague hit at the underpass? How did Conley get his wrist broken? Can bullets fucking like do loop-de-loops mid-air? It's not like it's ricocheting off bones. It's not anything like that. Like the trajectory it would have to take to break his wrist. There were more than one rifle. It's impossible. Everybody agrees the magic bullet doesn't make sense. I'm getting fucking heated here. But
it seems like JFK was trying to expose like the secret cabals that he knew were there, like say the Federal Reserve and the CIA. They know, the Americans knew that they were there, but they don't know the extent of the power they have and the stuff that's going on behind closed doors, and it seemed like he was trying to expose that before he died.
I mean, Jones has been to Bohemian Grove, people. We know these secret societies are out there. I mean, they might not be talked about, but the people that you vote for, the people that run our government, elected officials, public servants, are doing these things behind closed doors.
We don't really live in a democracy anymore, and we don't really have fair elections. Our elections are tampered with. Everything we know has been tampered with. Our money's been tampered with. We can't own anything. They're going to just make us eat bugs and be happy that we own absolutely nothing. And we're not really doing anything about it. We're kind of just sitting there and letting them punch us in the face over and over again and saying, thank you, government. Thank you for just punching me in the face over and over again. I love it so much.
Quite frankly, if the bugs are free, I'm fine. I can't pay for shit anyway. Fucking make the bugs free.
I don't think they're going to make the bugs free. They're going to make your salary so low that you can only afford to die to fucking crickets and earthworms.
I mean, anyway, fucking, it all goes back to the same place. I mean, Operation Northwoods, they were fucking switching commercial airliners with drones. They've had drones since fucking World War II, people. It's a proven fact. I mean, the first guide bomb was made back in that day, so drones are not too fucking a step off.
They used the same playbook at 9/11 as they used in Pearl Harbor. That's why that documentary is called New Pearl Harbor, because they literally did the same exact playbook to get us in a pointless war. They needed this fake event to draw us into a war just to make money and just kill thousands of innocent people.
And people, let's not forget, this was planned again. This was planned again, and the president that fucking rejects it dies later in his fucking candidacy. I mean, people. I mean, just the fact that they've done this multiple times and gotten away with it, it's just kind of mind-blowing.
They didn't just kill the people in the Twin Towers or the Pentagon. They killed the firefighters that came to help, that had fucking balls, that wanted to come and save people from the burning building, literally. They killed the families that lost these people. They ruined their fucking lives. They killed all these people in these other countries that died in this war that had nothing to do with them. It's just all fake. They used this fucking fake event. It's a fucking scam. It's a Trojan horse. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
It's a fucking Trojan horse, people. I mean, these people were just going to work. That's, like, I think is what the most painful part about it is. These motherfuckers were just going to work trying to feed their goddamn family.
Literally.
Imagine how you would feel if you just died at work. I mean, if you could see yourself after death in those moments and just think, like, wow, fuck, I died at goddamn work. Fucking working for goddamn dollar bills from the man. I can't believe this.
Those planes that hit into the Twin Towers had to have been swapped with military drones. Like, they just can't go that fast. I know we've talked about it before, but it's just Operation Northwoods. Like, we know that they can do it. We know it can be done. It was probably done that day. Like, it just doesn't make sense how fast those planes were going. They would fucking blow up. They'd be going too fast and speed wobble, and they'd fall apart, literally.
I mean, just the pilot couldn't even take the G-forces to do the maneuvers that they did.
If they were trying to hit into these buildings, they wouldn't be risking it. They wouldn't be going that fast. They would be going slower and making sure they can actually hit their target, especially these inexperienced pilots who have never flown these 757s before, these big-ass fucking planes. They would be taking it slower than they were.
I mean, dude, everything from that day shows they were fucking expert pilots, so who knows? They were pulling off fucking maneuvers everywhere.
Fucking Rudy Deckers was training them down in Venice.
Dude, I'll tell you what, fucking Rudy Decker trained some mean Arab at the plane. God damn.
That guy knows what he is doing. Specifically the Arabs for some reason. He really likes those Arabs. He was getting them in by the hundreds. In the year 2000 or the year 1999, only a couple dozen Arab Middle Easterners were flying in the United States training, and then they were coming in by the hundreds in the year 2000. Like, what is that about?
I wonder who's paying Rudy Decker.
Rudy Decker, literally, he had a backer.
I wonder who's paying.
He had a backer in Naples quote that he was flaunting money that wasn't his, and like everyone could tell he was just a retard. Like, he was just a dumb guy, just like flaunting wealth. Like, people could tell it wasn't his, and just like the cover story they used was he had a backer in Naples. He just came out of nowhere. He flew into Venice. 2 days later, he bought the Huffman Aviation Airport, like just this giant ass airport. He wrote him a check. The Huffman Aviation dude, like a family business, family airport. Guy just writes him a check, whatever he wants for it, gives him the money. No government officials involved at all. There needs to be like a checks and balances for that, just to make sure that's not going to anybody. Just skip through all that. Fucking, he came in 2 days later, he owns an airport. Like, not even, he's a fucking Dutch dude, not even an American. A Dutch person literally can't own commercial planes. Like, they're very strict about that. And this random Dutch guy is just getting whatever he wants from the government, just bypassing anything. He can own this commercial airliner, commercial planes.
Wow, dude, a random, dumb, young guy getting a bunch of fucking money from who knows where to do some just strange shit. I mean, how many times has this happened? How many times is just a strange young man came across a fucking wealthy benefactor and just things happen? I mean...
Both Rudy Decker and the other Dutch guy who owned the airport, like across both are in the Venice airport, but it was like another airliner across the airport. Both these Dutch guys that were training these Dutch flight instructors training these Arabs by the fucking dozen. They had this same German associate that was supplying them German people that wanted to fly. He's supplying both guys who are competing businesses in the same airline, supplying both of them with German people who want to learn how to fly. Don't you just find that fishy?
Just what I'm wondering is, like, there has to be, like, some sort of aviation fucking agency, even at this time, and just still. Fucking nobody raises a fucking eyebrow at any of this. I mean, even just like your average motherfucker would just be like, wow, my boss is kind of doing some fishy shit. I don't even know if I want to work for this guy. But it's not even that. I mean, this motherfucker, he's organized, he has the resources, he's getting the people in, he's getting them out there. It just...
FBI, CIA, they all know that there's an attack coming on the United States, and still all these pilots are learning how to fly in the United States, in Venice specifically, and no one just would raise an eye about that. No one would be looking into that at all. 14 out of the 19 hijackers on 9/11 all came out of this Venice airport. It's not just a coincidence, people. This Venice, the second oldest population at the time in the entire United States, and these Islams just wanted to go there and hang out with all these old fuckers. Like, no. There's a reason they're going there. This airport has something to do with it.
These Islams? Dude, that's fucking
I meant Islamics and it just came out Islams.
I mean,
that sounds pretty racist to call them Islams.
Oh yeah, dude, that's why I was fucking, that's hilarious. I'm calling them Islams from now on. Okay, Red.
Alright, I think we need to wrap this one up now that we're getting in on the Islams.
I think we're already fucked in the algorithm, so it's okay. People, investigate the investigators. Love your country, just like we love you. Signing out.